Well, speaking of which, and I've heard you on Chael Sonnen's podcast a few times talking about MMA and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think there's been sort of not that they're of course counting the pennies, but do you think there's been kind of a fall in general in UFC recently?
I can say for myself that I'm less interested than I have been. I think they had a bit of a. They sort of remind me in many ways of WWE in the sense that they seem to. They have so much power, like, and they control so many guys' destinies that. It starts to become too much about the UFC and not enough about the fighters and the personalities. Like they try to make everything UFC. You know, like they don't say like, oh, at this next pay-per-view, it's like so and so versus so and so. You know, they're slowly because I think they had a couple of major scares. They had Ronda, and then and Ronda kind of burned out, and then they had Conor, and Conor's obviously become such a big star that he's sort of outgrown the UFC and can kind of call his own shots and kind of do what he wants, you know. And they're Jon Jones, and Jon Jones is, you know, been a bit of a liability outside of it. So it's kind of like they keep having these golden gooses that they sort of put all their eggs in this basket, and then and then the basket falls over. So I can understand from their point of view, but what's happened to me is I feel like they're a bit oversaturated. I don't know. That's just my take on it. But to me, I'm just as big a boxing fan as I am an MMA fan, and on both of those, I'm probably what you would call a casual fan. But I've been way more interested in boxing again this year. And I think it's just because of the personalities. Like I think people get. I think, you know, I'll tell you what makes me laugh about UFC especially, but boxing does it too. But how UFC made such a big stink back in the day, how they would just be so anti-wrestling. Like they would take every pot shot they could against pro wrestling. Like, oh, pro wrestling's stupid, you know. That's the WWE, you know, they're good at what they do, but, you know, this is real, blah, blah, blah. And yet every single fight I see in the UFC, it's the same formula. Two guys, they talk mad shit about each other. They say all this horrible stuff. They get into fight stuff. And as soon as they finish fighting, they hug and they go, oh, it was all just business. You know? So, like, I think it's only so many times that the audience can see that before they go, these guys are just making it up. Like they're working us, you know?